This is a pile of what you'll need. Fabric of your choice. Some kind of ribbon or tie. I'm using bias binding because that's what I have. A dinner plate. Tape measure. Your dinner plate should be 10 to 12 inches. Sharpie. Scissors. Pins or clips if you have them. And sewing machine. You can do it by hand, but I'm lazy, so I'm using my sewing machine. First thing you want to do is lay out your fabric. Where have I cut out before? There. You want to put it wrong side so you don't draw on the right side. Close to an edge. Take your plait onto the fabric, as close to the edge. Sharpie. Draw around your plate. And then cut that out. So you have that. You should probably iron it, but again, I'm lazy. So you want to fold it in half that way, fold it in half that way, so you've got a quarter circle, and then along that fold and that fold you go snip, snip, snip. Snip, snip, snip. Snip, snip, snip. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. You can pattern match if you want, if you're pedantic like me. So the pieces are going to go together this way, so I want to make sure that I've got 2 lots of spiders that go up and 2 lots of spiders that go down. Yeah, okay. So once you've pattern matched, so these spiders both go up, you want to put them right sides together. You've got 2 matching things like that. Good. Drop one. You're gonna clip or pin it in place. Probably a bit excessive on the clips because it's not going anywhere very well. And now I need to set up my sewing machine. I mean, it's slightly in the way, but I reckon I can deal with that. Let's get that central. Yeah, it should be fine. Ignore the absolute state of my machine, please. So you want to set up your thread and whatever. I'm using a purple one because it matches. You want it on a not a zigzag. On a straight stitch with a decent size stitch, on whatever tension you usually put your machine on. Oh shit, I can't reach the pedal. I know. Alright. Get rid of that. So you want to try and get as close to the edge as possible, or when you cut out your fabric, like I didn't do, give yourself enough seam allowance. This is where I tend to get stuck in the machine. Why am I not going? Huh. Why are we not going? She's on. She was not on. I thought the torch from my phone was the light from the machine. That was great. Back stitch. But then you should get a nice row of stitching. My leg's already going numb from sitting on the floor. So now you should have 2 inside out bits. So I'm going to trim the threads. And I like to take a little bit off the seam allowance because it just makes it neater. And the seam in the middle is less bulky. Like that. Okay. Now that you've got your 2 pieces, oh, I need to sit cross-legged. One of them you want to turn in the right way. You could already see it started to take its shape. That one that you've turned in the right way, you should probably iron it, but we all know who I am. Now, don't turn this one in the right way, but you want to shove that one inside the inside out one as far in as you can get it, and then line it up So you want the top and bottom seams to match up in the middle on both ends, and then you want to pin or clip along the two outside edges. So starting with that one, pin and clip along these edges. It should look like this now. Bring it back round to the front of the machine for this bit. Cool. Staying with the straight stitch. So you want to leave like this bit, so don't like sew up to maybe, I should probably measure this actually. Yeah, that's a hair. I'd leave about 1.5 inches unsewn on both sides, as in like 1.5 inches there, 1.5 inches there on both corners. It does not have to be exact. Obviously we all know what my measuring's like. I go, oh, that'll do. Exactly like I've just done. So again, go in with a straight stitch, turn the machine on, back stitch, make sure to keep both layers in place. Now when you get to the top corner bit, it could be quite difficult. You want to go around it like you would any rounded corner. Ready with the back stitch. There will do. And the reason I say leave both ends open, because it just makes it that little bit easier. Snip. Okay, now let's move it back around the side for the next bit. To make my life easier. I always start with the needle in the fabric in case it pulls my threads out. Okie dokie. Time for a move again. Oh, I'm getting warm. Now you should have this. I'm just going to trim up all of the threads once more. Okay, and now you want to get rid of the threads. Turn it in the right way. So the easiest way to do this is pull it from the middle seams, pull it out like that, and tuck it in on itself. So tuck it in on itself and poke it out through the gap. Like so. Again, you should iron it after this, but I'm a really bad example. So there we've got one mask in the right way. These corners that you've left open, you're going to want to tuck them in like that. Are we still in focus? Yeah. Oh, it's tracking me, that's fine. So tuck in your corners. They should be about the same. Mine are not the same. Try again. Yeah, roughly. Doesn't matter if they're not. Now here is where I will use a pin, because for the next bit I'm not going to be touching this and I want them to stay in place. I would recommend pinning those. Like that. Now, because I am a silly bean and I am using bias binding, I need to sew it up. Yeah, look at the state of it. I should probably iron this too, but guess what, Mum? I'm not going to iron it. I'm just gonna sew it down. I'm not gonna bother moving camera or anything just yet. I'm just gonna whisk through this real quick. This is some of the binding that Nelly gave me. I don't know where the purple one went, because she gave me blue and purple. I'm just going to do the whole lot, I think. I wouldn't recommend using bias binding. Use ribbon or a hoodie tie like I did on my last one. Oh, my knees. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Ribbon. Okay, so you've got your ribbon, however long it is. I'll measure out how much you'll probably need. You want to make your ribbons at least 28 to 30 inches long for each bit, or for each side. Let's see, because then that gives you enough room to tie it off. Although saying that 30 is probably too much, but oh well. It gives you plenty of room. You've got two ties of the same length and your middle mask piece. Ooh, that goes together quite well. Didn't think it would. So, take one of your ribbons, fold it in half and find the centre point. So, there is my centre. Come here. Centre. Take one of your, one side of your mask, put the pin to one side. Now you could be really pedantic and find the centre point of that too, if you want to, but you don't have to. So match up the centres and lay it across. This is the easiest way I find to do this part, instead of trying to tuck it inside. You could do the ones where you tuck it in like that and sew over it, but I find that this gives me the most stability. So find your centre and pin it in place. Again, it doesn't matter if it shifts. This way also allows you to tie it behind your head instead of having it hang over your ears, which I find is a lot easier to wear. because having it hang over your ears, as we all know, is rather painful for some of us. You want to do that on both sides. So take your ribbon, fold it in half, find the centre point, mark it, find the centre point, mark it, ribbon across there, back onto the magnet, pin it, and now we're going to sew that in place. Okay, this is where it's going to get difficult. So tuck it under your machine, and you want the middle, so where you get that little marker, you want that right in the middle of the ribbon. And I am going to put it on a zigzag, put it on a relatively wide zigzag. I'm going with that one right there. So I'm going to put my needle in the fabric. Actually, I'm going to move the fabric forward a bit, otherwise it will get stuck. Okay, I hate this bit. I need my thing. Right, I'm going to take that out because the needle's in the fabric now. Okay. Now, really slow because it gets caught. A little bit back stitch. Now I am going to assist it through a little bit, I think. There we go. Come on. Ooh. I guess with bias binding you could bind to the edge here, but oh well. Okay, it's not the prettiest looking, but I mean, oh well. Yeah, because I'm not the greatest at sewing, but you get the idea. It holds it in place, and it's a strong connection because it's got all the sewing up here, so it's not going to come off easy like the surgical ones do. And that sits nice and flush against your cheek so it doesn't itch. Oh, my legs are going numb. Snip. Turn it off. Ouch, my fingies. Okay, so now you should have two sides sewn like this. Again, we're going to trim the threads as close to the work as we can. If I can snip. Snip. Oh, got pins and needles in my feet. You can definitely tell which side I did with the camera in front of me. Oh well. I should also mention, if you use the right fabrics, these are machine washable. Like, this is just straight up cotton, like a I don't know, like a bed sheet cotton, so you can just chuck that in the washing machine. And also, depending on the ribbons that you use, you can put that in the machine too. But there you have one freshly made mask, and I'll put it on as well just to show you. Just put it in front of the mirror so I can actually see myself, see if I'm inched up. Ow! Ooh! My poor little leggies. Ah, that's like the perfect height. And the best thing about these is you can wear them with glasses and it doesn't steam up your glasses. Let's make sure that's the right way up. And yeah, put it on your face. You tie it up above your head. One like that. Should have made mine a bit longer. It's fine, I can add length to them. Tie it up. The best thing about these ones is I figured out if you put the bridge of your glasses further down your nose, you don't steam up. And they look good, and they're comfy, and they don't pull on your ears. Ta-da!